Thank you for visiting the Coin Lady channel again. The fact that certain individuals are still quite positive on XRP is evidence of that. Regardless, pricing hasn't been acting in a way that many would have hoped it would lately. Myself included among those who were consistently optimistic on XRP. Why? Because I still don't have a basic rationale for believing that XRP isn't going to be there for the long haul. And because XRP is merely becoming stronger from a basic standpoint. As I see the short-term price activity, no matter how bad it gets, it's not like, hey, I remember when XRP was 10 cents and everyone was saying the world was ending. Or anything along those lines. After then, it dropped to $2 about 1 year later. Accordingly, feeling is feeling. So that's the tale. The fact is, however, that XRP is just gaining in popularity. For more than 10 years, that has been the case. Well, it's interesting to read your thoughts on the analysis put out by different technical analyst types. I think we can all agree on one thing: these people are quite confident, and it's admirable that they aren't reacting the way most retail speculators do when prices are down. These folks are really much committed. Therefore, it is one thing if their analysis is accurate. What is really important is that they are aware that the short-term price movement is irrelevant. So, I'll give you the lowdown on Bitcoin and XRP from the viewpoints of a few chart experts. I should clarify something before we continue, though. I come from absolutely no financial background. My counsel has nothing to do with money. By the way, you shouldn't base any purchases or sales on what I say, okay? I'm simply a curious bystander that loves to vlog about cryptocurrency on YouTube. That is, only as a pastime and for enjoyment. XRP is trading at a little over 51 cents when I filmed this video. Plus, it's encouraging to observe that it has been hovering around 50 cents as of late. Bitcoin was briefly below this psychological level for a short time, and it is now trading at $43,230. At 60 out of 100, this is the crypto fear and greed index. Even if the price has been moving sideways for much of the last few weeks, I'm not bothered by the fact that people still see component F. However, excessive greed is not evident. In fact, I believe that this market cycle has only seen severe greed on a single occasion. From its low point at the beginning of 2022 to the conclusion of the year, it has been steadily rising. We may have had a single day of severe greed at 76 out of 100 since then. Therefore, I still find it hard to believe that this is all over. Since the previous market cycle, when everything was perfect, with diamond hands and laser eyes, with Bitcoin going to $100,000, etc., we haven't experienced anything like. So yet, such kind of feeling has not been experienced. An expert in cash market charts offers the following analysis. Day writes for Uber. For Cointelegraph, I'll offer a brief excerpt up top and then go into more detail on his comments regarding XRP. Bitcoin exchange-traded funds (ETFs) debuted in January, but investors lost sight of the net inflows into the other ETFs and instead concentrated on the withdrawals from the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, causing prices to fall. This demonstrates that the dealer's goal was to profit from selling the news. Since there was no huge sell-off immediately after the news emerged, I thought, well, I guess it's not a buy the news or sell the news event, my pals. I made the statement in a public forum. We may not have seen an immediate and severe drop in value due to the fact that the news the day before spread false information about the approval, which was itself spread via misleading means. Recall the incident on X when the SEC account was compromised? We were that. My guess is that it became poisoned the next day. However, the price of Bitcoin has been trending downwards ever since. An event meant to market the news. It wasn't a quick sell-off, but that's all that matters in terms of timing. Therefore, that is the way it is. To my surprise, however, it was clearly not a result of the news event. Yes, I was implying that. I apologize if my repeated mentions of it on the channel were bothersome. Still, I was correct. Because I've seen this plot point play out many times. A tale begins with the price being blown out. It ends there as soon as the event takes place. However, it was completely unrealistic to expect him to pour this much money into the ETFs on day one. It just needs time. Obviously, ETFs won't have a major impact in the near future, but I believe they will have far-reaching good consequences in the long run. That Bitcoin did not remain below the $40,000 threshold for an extended period of time is, according to his writing, a good indicator, which I find appealing. As a result, Bitcoin may stay in a range for a few days if investors continue to purchase on falls and sell on rises. The fact that there was enough demand to send Bitcoin soaring back up into the top 30,000s when it did fall is a pleasant surprise. Before I go into what's ahead, I should mention what experts have to say about Bitcoin. I won't bore you with the whole analysis, you can see it on your screen. I'll simply mention it here. However, this cashew analyst who was speaking with Cointelegraph today does see a possible short-term route for XRP could possibly jump up to 67 cents if all goes smoothly. I get that it appears unbelievable when prices are low and doing things like downward action looks like a bad idea. It only seems feasible until, as I often say, it occurs all of a sudden. Afterwards, it's crystal clear that it was bound to happen. Yes, I see. Wow, you were completely absent when prices were down, retail speculator Lemon. The following is the analysis of Bitcoin by reliable crypto chartists. He is hopeful that a price increase is likely in the near future and that Bitcoin will reach a new all-time high this year. This is what he put down on paper. We are now seeing seller absorption, which is great news for Bitcoin bulls, and our local demand zone has held for the time being. It seems like passive/limit buyers are absorbing spot market selling since spot CVD is making lower lows and price is making higher lows. We should try to achieve some positive follow-through. There is, therefore, some consolidation taking place here. Additionally, we are now engaged in a state of passive anticipation. Keeping in line with the headline I teased at the beginning of the video, experts predict that XRP will rise to $22 if it stays in its symmetrical triangle. They advise buying every dip. Greg Crypto, a chart analyst too, and I will not be reading the paper since they were expressing their perspectives. What I really want to do is simply give you a rundown of some of his most recent thoughts on XRP. It encompasses everything you see on the screen at the moment, including the XRP price chart. His exact words are as follows. And just so you know, regardless of your opinion on the analysis, and I believe this is true of most of these folks, whether we're discussing Bitcoin or XRP, you just have to respect, and if you don't, you should, the conviction with which these guys approach their work, and the price naturally falls. They've accepted the situation, pushed aside their emotions, and are moving on since, you know, this is how volatile markets work. Thus, pricing drops. I don't pretend to be an analyst, but that's just the way my life is. What am I, really? It doesn't matter. What did you expect, though? The market is really unpredictable. Sure, it's not going to be the case that the value of XRP, Bitcoin, or other cryptocurrency you purchase today remains fixed at its purchase price indefinitely. You should anticipate that it will eventually be worth less than what you first invested, since it is the most unpredictable asset class in the world. In the long run, it won't matter whether you have the knowledge and conviction, I certainly do, because the tendency increases with time. Regardless, the amazing cryptocurrency XRP has some interesting things to say about wave analysis: regular, irregular, or running. There are three distinct sorts of flats, as can be seen on the screen. And that is what he is referring to here. Also, he admits that a regular pattern is more appealing to him. With the anticipation that the corrective wave seed would not go below 41 cents, XRP is expected to undergo a wave correction. There is a chance that wave C might drop to 35 to 40 cents if this count turns out to be wrong. From a macro perspective, it is critical to keep the price above 28 cents. Even the most devoted XRP army members may find that the journey ahead is fraught with difficulty. On the other hand, brace yourself for the impending megaboom. Unit of XRP: be calm and be aware of the huddle. I believe it means what you say it means, and I'm quite certain that the years 2024 to 2025 might provide an opportunity that changes your life. I shall therefore state this. Regarding that last section, I am completely in accord. My one and only condition is that we must see more upward movement in the stock market. The reason being that crypto assets, like stocks, are assets subject to risk. Accordingly, if you're going through a rough patch in the stock market, we're going to spend more time discussing how you're going to experience a rough patch with crypto's price movement. The asset classes tend to move in lockstep, so if stocks start to rise, I'd be surprised if crypto didn't follow suit. A new all-time high price for XRP will be discovered if Bitcoin achieves a new all-time high. There's no doubt in my mind about that. Plus, I'll admit that I don't know for sure whether it will occur. I may be completely mistaken. Plus, it's very conceivable that I'll lose everything if I'm incorrect. But I don't believe that to be the most likely scenario. XRP has been on my radar. It's been nearly 6 years since I first got it. From then on, I've been keeping meticulous records on it almost constantly. To me, it simply doesn't add up. The notion appeals to me, and the fact that XRP's popularity and use are on the rise makes me wonder if it won't happen. As far as I can tell, the market is taking note of the fact that XRP has maintained a consistent position among the top 10 cryptocurrencies in terms of market capitalization. Discover the rationale behind XRP. It annoys people and evokes a wide range of feelings, including fear, anger, and annoyance. That is really unusual, so it must have been a vote of confidence. There may be a lot of dull sideways price activity, but the fact that 3 cryptos have consistently ranked in the top 10 currencies by market size matters. On the other hand, chart analyst Dark Defender published this XRP price chart, and he seems just as certain that a massive upswing is imminent. Please allow me to provide you with the latest XRP data on the monthly timescale using the MACD indicator. One thing stands out when we examine the price trend and MACD, the clear XRP jump, which is compressed and squeezed across all chart features. For the last several years, people have been taking psychological exams for 52 cents to 46 cents. On the other hand, XRP developed a third wave and will demonstrate that it had an exceptional technical move in Elliott waves. I intend to succeed. And XRP is on the way, so I'll chop. The emotion remains unshaken, regardless of the immediate circumstances. Because you're so immersed in the data and cognizant of everything going on, it's simpler for an analyst to understand that. I remember when XRP was originally introduced, which was around 10 years ago. For a few years, especially with XRP, the market was quite volatile, to a certain extent, that is, expected for a cryptocurrency, and there was no bluff top. So, basically, what I'm trying to convey is that it has happened before for it to travel substantially in the same direction for many years. This time, I feel like it's much worse. My guess is that a blow-off top would have happened by now if the SEC hadn't sued Ripple and attacked XRP investors, causing all sorts of fake activity. When we had all the cryptocurrency go crazy in 2021, to be honest. What I mean is that this has occurred before. That we have been waiting for what seems like an eternity is, therefore, not unexpected. Why wouldn't you assume it to be true? It's only reasonable that you would. Since we failed to reach the bluff top in the last cycle, I anticipate that this will be the case. I was thinking, well, there we go, when I saw the SEC. I mean, come on, in a few years there will be euphoria again. And I truly believe that we will witness it. It won't make any sense to me if we don't, because the market does reward cryptos with functionality more than those without. In the realm of cryptocurrency, which I'll admit I've been discussing quite a bit recently, there are several ways in which it plays out. In light of the fact that I don't care what you do with your life, what matters is that you succeed in your endeavors, since I believe that most of us are vying for the chance to amass fortune and cryptocurrency that will change our lives forever. Even though the majority of people won't succeed due to a lack of knowledge or the emotional strength to see this through, the idea that it is possible is still very real and, as I've mentioned before, the most empowering part of this. The chance remains, regardless of their emotional resilience, Father. It is not a myth, in fact, it is thriving. Therefore, I will see this through to the end and will not let myself get rattled by some really pointless short-term price movement. Think about it in terms of its value. You shouldn't put your money where your mouth is because of anything I say. I'm not a financial advisor. Do me a favor and subscribe to my channel. Goodbye for now.